So based on what we are given, we need to answer the following questions. So if we check here, they want us to determine the gradient of the line PQ. So what I need you to do, remember, it might be easy for you to work on this thing, but there are some of the things that I need you guys to pay attention on, okay? There are some of the things that you need to make sure that you don't make mistakes, because now we are doing a normal lesson. I'll also go through some of the basics that you need to understand, because remember, if we work with the gradient, what I need you to remember from the gradient is the formula that we use to calculate the gradient, okay? Are you all with me on that? Okay, thank you very much, Soli. Thank you. Soli, thank you very much. So now, based on this information, I'm just gonna make sure that first thing first, let us rewrite that PQ down. Let us rewrite the PQ down. Okay, I'm just gonna rewrite the PQ. I'm just gonna start with the point P, which comes first. I'm just gonna write P there and say the coordinates of P is given as -2 and 4, which is also negative. Then we have Q. If we check Q, we are given this Q as -4 and 2. It's very important that you rewrite this thing down, and I'm going to explain now why should we write everything down. I'm going to explain now. Okay, so now what I need you to do, is that the point that comes first, remember I have PQ, so I'm going to name this point my point 1. So this tells us that this will be my x1, this will be my y1. Then what about the other one? This will be my second point, which would give me x2, y2. Guys, please trust me on this. If you do everything like this, everything will be easy for you. Now if you do it like this, trust me, everything that you solve is going to be easy, and when you do the substitution, you won't make any mistakes. You won't make, because now the reason you are attending these lessons is for us to show you the mistakes that you need to make sure that you don't make. Because if we make a mistake here, we're going to donate the marks. I hope everyone is with me on that. Right, so what's next? We're going to rewrite the formula for gradient. I'm going to say they are looking for what? These people are asking for the gradient of what? The gradient of PQ. What is the formula for gradient? It's y2 minus y1, everything divided by what? By x2 minus x1. So look at this. Now you know what is your y2, you know what is your x2. It will be easy for you to do the substitution. You see? It's very important. It will be easy for you to do what? It will be easy for you to do the substitution. So when it's like this, you just have to substitute what you have there. We're going to do the substitution, and now the gradient of PQ will be equals to, what is your y2 is going to be positive 2. We minus whatever that you are minusing, make sure that you put it inside the bracket. So it's 2 minus y1, so it's going to be minus inside the bracket -4, and everything is divided by x2. What is x2? -4 minus whatever that you are minusing, you put it inside the bracket, because that negative needs to multiply out the brackets. I think everyone is happy with that. So now, therefore, we can conclude and say, what is the gradient of A? What is the gradient of PQ? Anyone? I'm just gonna wait for you guys to tell me, just to make sure that you punch this correctly. Thank you. You got your answer as minus what? -3. I'm just gonna write the answer and say my gradient is equals to -3. Thank you very much, Busisi. Thank you very much. That's correct, ne? So now, one thing that we need to pay attention on, one thing that y2 is 2, say y2 is 2. Oh yes, y2 is 2. Let us go and fix that mistake. Né? Our y2, it's y2 minus y. Yes, we did substitute y2 as 2. Yes, we did that. So this is correct. The gradient should be what? The gradient, this is our equation of the gradient. It's minus 3. So now, determine the gradient of the line PR if PQ is perpendicular to PR. And look at the mark. The mark allocation. This is 1 mark. I'm not sure if you guys, you see that. You see the mark allocation, it's 1 mark. Né? So I need us to, let's talk about when 2 lines are perpendicular. If I have 2 lines that are perpendicular, let's do this. If we have 2 lines that are perpendicular, when you have this thing, when 2 lines are perpendicular, what can we say about the gradient of these 2 lines? The gradient of PQ, when we multiply it by the gradient of PR, we need to get an answer of minus 1. So now, I don't want you to stress because this is 1 mark. I don't want you to give I don't want you to stress and go make a lot of calculation. I'm going to teach you how to find the gradient of this perpendicular line without making any calculations, because it's 1 mark and we don't want to spend 5 marks for 1 mark. What you need to know is that when we take these two, the gradient of these 2 lines and multiply them, we need to get an answer of minus 1. But this is what you're going to do. If one between these 2 lines, PQ and PR, if you already know the gradient of one of these 2, we already know the gradient is minus 3 for PQ. This tells us that the gradient of PR is the inverse, is the reciprocal of this number, and then we change the sign. What I'm trying to say is that, remember, if I have minus 3, this minus 3 can be what? If I have this as minus 3, the minus 3 I can write it as 1. So what will be the reciprocal of 3 over 1? Then we change the sign from negative to positive. Therefore, the answer will be the gradient of PR is equal to the reciprocal of that without the sign. The sign should be different. So what I'm trying to say is that we don't have to spend 5 marks for 1 mark. This is how you should do it. You take the gradient of one equation, you find the reciprocal of that number. Remember 3 minus 3 is over 1. So the reciprocal of 3 over 1 is 1 over 3. Are you all happy with that? Okay, I see the reactions. Are you all happy? Okay, thanks. Thank you. So now that we have this, they say hence or otherwise determine the value of A. Let's go back. Okay, so I see someone here. I see Nuna. Nuna says that minus 3 divided by 3 is minus 1. That's correct, Nuna. That's correct. We can also verify this. I've been stuck on YouTube. No. I said come on TikTok. Let us leave the YouTube. We'll post the... thank you, Nuna. This is grade 11, yes. This is grade 11. Thank you, Nuna. So now, what we're going to do, we're going to determine the value of A. The value of A. Let's go back to the graph. Let's look at this question. I'm just going to leave you guys to think, because they said hence or otherwise. Now they want the value of A. Can someone tell us, how can we find the value of A? I just want to hear what will we need to do if they... let me see, there's a comment here. What will we need to do if the question didn't say the PQ is perpendicular to PR? Or if they don't tell you it's perpendicular, they'll either say it's parallel. So if they are parallel, if 2 lines are parallel, they have equal gradients. So there's no way they don't tell you perpendicular or parallel. It's either they'll say perpendicular or they'll say parallel. You understand? But now, if it is 3 marks and they want you to find the gradient of that PR, if it's 3 marks, that's when you can use the normal formula that you know. I hope you understand that part. Remember guys, I'm no longer accepting anyone on the lesson. If you leave, you won't be able to come and join by using the midpoint formula. Say, Wushe, that's very correct. We're going to use, wait Wushe, you said the midpoint formula. Remember the question said hence. I don't think I'll agree with you on that when you say the midpoint formula, because remember, we are looking for A. We are looking for A. We don't have the midpoint of any line, and we know the gradient of this line. So what I need you guys to do, I need you guys to be smart. They said hence. Hence means that whatever that you did on the previous question, whatever that you did, use that to answer this question. So when you see the question says hence, the meaning of hence, eragore, whatever you did on the previous question, take that answer and use it to find the value of A. So they want us to use 1 over 3. You need to ask yourself, what is 1 over 3? 1 over 3 is the gradient of PR. So what you're going to do, you're going to say, use whatever that we have. You need to ask yourself, what do we have now? More viewer. Okay, so now what we're going to do is that we're going to say we are looking for the gradient of PR, and the formula that we're going to use, is equals to y2 minus y1, everything divided by x2 minus x1. We need the coordinates of P, we need the coordinates of R. Very important that you write this down. So the coordinates of P was given as what? Minus 2, minus 4. So I'm going to write my minus 2, my minus 4. Then let's go and check the value of R. R is A and minus 1. So I'm going to substitute R as A and minus 1. Why are we doing this? Because I don't want you to make mistakes when you substitute. Remember, P is our first point, which will make this to be x1, y1. R is our second point. This will be x2, y2. So it's easy for you now to substitute on the equation. This will be easy for you now to substitute. What is the gradient of PR? We know that it's 1 over 3. It's equals to y2. It's minus 1 minus y1 inside the bracket. Everything is divided by x2, which is what is x2? It's A minus x1 inside the bracket is minus 2. You see now, the only thing that we have here is what? The only thing that we have is the value of A. We just have to work out on this problem. Guys, do you have any question? Let me pause here so you guys can ask questions. Do you have any questions? Okay, I can see the thumbs are going down, means that we don't have any question. Okay, nice. Okay, no problem. Okay, so now what we're going to do is that I need to, because I see now I'm working with something more complicated. Let me arrange this equation. When I arrange the equation, I'm going to have minus 1. Multiply out the bracket with negative. We're going to have plus 4 on top. And this is divided by what? A plus 2. So we still have to simplify that guy again. I still have the 1 over 3. On top, what do we have? Minus 1 plus 4 is positive 3. So on top we have 3, and this is divided by A plus 2. What's next? We cross multiply because we need to remove the fractions. We need to cross multiply this. This will be 3 times 3 will give us 9. We equate this to what? A plus 2. Now remember that it's like saying A plus 2 times 1 is just A plus 2. Now let's do what? Let's find the value of A. Therefore, the value of A is equal to 9. The 2 comes to the other side to be negative. The value of A is just 7. You know what I'm going to do? I need to verify if this value of A is correct. I'll go back to my equation and check. I know that, oh, the value of A is positive. So it's in quadrant 4, it should be positive. So I can see that, oh, the value of A is equals to minus 7. Let me check. Did we, guys, let me go back to you. Are you all happy with that? With no mistake, ne? I hope you guys are taking notes, ne? I hope you guys are taking notes. So now what we're going to do is that we'll send the issue with you guys on the group. You don't vote. You don't vote because it's best that I know which subject you are currently doing at school. When now I'm going to send this, the topics. I need you guys to vote which topics are you currently working on at school. Once you are able to send those topics, we'll know what we need to do next. And I know most of the learners now, they have investigation questions coming, what. But remember, that's an open book, ne? That one is an open book. So even when it is an open book, it's not gonna be easy, trust me. So everything is good now. Let's move to the next question. Calculate the area of triangle QPR. They want us to find the area of QPR. So this given triangle is QPR. We need to find the area of that triangle. Can someone please tell me how can we find the area of that triangle? Anyone? Look at this triangle. How can we find the area of that triangle? Do you guys have any idea how we can find the area of that triangle? Sorry, Nuna, for leaving you behind. So we are calculating the area of a triangle now, ne? We are calculating the area of a triangle. Nuna, I'm very sorry for leaving you behind. Okay, we have an answer now. Someone said, I'm just gonna check the comment. Remember, yesterday, okay, 8 equals to 7. Thank you very much. Someone raised a hand. Tandenda. Mbewe. I'm just gonna call you Mbewe, ne? Calculate the length of PR and PQ. Lutando says we must calculate the length of PR and PQ. What are you guys saying? Mbewe, I'm listening. You raised a hand. Half of a sine theta. Fana says half of a sine theta. What do you guys think? We need to calculate. Okay, listen guys. When they want you to calculate the area, remember the area of a triangle. The area of a triangle. You know what I'm going to do? Let's check the mark allocation first. Then we're going to take it from there. This is 4 marks. Okay, so if this is 4 marks, we know that we need to find the length, and then the formula that we use, it's half base times the height. Okay, just give me a second, guys. Okay, so it's half base times the height, okay? Half base times the height. Let's go and use that formula. We're going to say that the area of just gonna write it down, that area is equal to half base times the height. It's half base times the height. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna calculate what? I'm just gonna calculate the length of QP, and also the length of PR. We can just calculate. I'm not sure if it's my network or what. I think it's your network, ne? I think it's on your side. Yeah, but otherwise this side everything is good, ne? Do you guys agree with me when I say we're going to use half base times the height formula? Yes. So now let's calculate the distance. We need to calculate the distance of PQ, and we also need to calculate the distance of PR. Let us do that now. Then later on we'll confirm from the memo if what we are doing is correct. Now let me quickly do this. Okay, let's find PQ and PR. So I'm going to write the coordinates of P here. What was P? We were given P as minus 2 minus 4. Minus 2 minus 4. And what is the coordinates of R? Let me quickly check here. It was P Q minus 4 and 2. Q minus 4 and 2. So let's find the distance of PQ. What is the distance of PQ equals to? It's going to be equal to the root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 everything squared. So if you look at this, let's check this thing. I'm going to have this as my x1, y1, my x2, y2. Trust me, if you write your details like this, there's no way you're going to make a mistake. There's no way even your substitution will be correct. So this tells me that the length of PQ, when we do the substitution, our PQ will be equal to the root of what is your x2? We know it's minus 4. Then I'm going to subtract x1, which we need to put it inside the bracket, and everything squared. Then we add this into y2, which is 2 minus y1. We need to put it inside the bracket, everything squared. So I know someone is going to make a mistake here when they do their substitution. I know someone will make a mistake. So tell me guys, what do you get on your calculator? What do you guys get? Let me also collect my calculator. 2 root 10. Let's see. Anyone else? Root of minus 4 plus 2. And this is squared plus 2 plus 4. This is also squared. 2 root 10. Eh? So we get this answer. I'm just going to leave it in that form. PQ is equal to 2 the root 10. And then what about the other? Remember, we need PQ, and what else can we calculate? PR, the length of PR. Let's look for the length of PR. Ne? You do the same. You need to write down the coordinates of what? You need to write down the coordinates of your P and your R. So if we rewrite the coordinates of P, remember the coordinates of P, it's what? It's minus 2 minus 4. I'm just going to write my coordinates here. Minus 2 minus 4. And then now we need the coordinates of R. We had A as 7. So this will be 7. Remember the value of A was 7. Ne? So this will be the coordinates of R will be 7 and minus 1. I'm just going to put my coordinates here, 7 and minus 1. And this is what we have so far. We need to use the very same formula. When we use this formula, what are we going to do? We're going to say the length of P R. It will be the root of our x2 minus x1, which is squared. We add y2 minus y1, which is also squared. Remember to name this as your x1, y1, this will be your x2, y2. Trust me, if you name your points, there's no way you can make mistakes when you multiply, when you do the substitution. You won't make any mistakes. So it's very important that you write it like that, so that when you do the substitution, everything is correct. So this will be x2, which is 7 minus x1. I'm just going to put it inside the bracket. Then everything squared plus into y2. My y2 is minus 1. Let us minus. It's minus 1. We minus our y1, which is negative 4. We put it inside the bracket. Everything is squared. You just have to make sure that you punch your calculator correctly. Put that on the calculator. Let's see if we can get the same answer. Eh? Put it on the calculator. Let's see if we can get the same answer. 7 minus into minus 2, everything squared, plus minus 1 minus into minus 4 squared. I have my answer, which is 9. Let me just see if I got the same answers, you guys. What is your answer? Please send your answer on the comments. Let's see. Someone got 9.4. 3 root 10. What happened? Am I there? What happened? Did I make any mistake here when I punch on my calculator? Plus minus 1 minus into, oh, it's minus into minus 4. I said minus 1. You see, we can always make a mistake. So we get 3 root 10. Thank you. How is this 3 marks? Oh, I'm sorry. How is this 3 marks? Né? This is not that long, man. Trust me, this is not that long. Because remember, they don't just give away marks. They need you to work for these marks. Né? This is not that long. You just have to, it's like calculating, it's like 1 mark for calculating the length of PQ, 1 mark for calculating the length of PR. Then you can do your substitution. You can substitute to find the final answer. You see, it's easy. That's how it works. It's easy. That's how it works. So now it is not that bad. Now we can use the formula, the area. We remember we said that the formula that we're going to use, the area is that, therefore, our final answer is A, it's equal to the half of that PQ multiplied by PR. So now what is the area equals to? It's 1 over 2 inside the bracket. We're going to substitute the length of PQ, which is what we calculated as 2 root 10, multiplied by PR, which is what we got as 3 root 10. You just have to punch that on the calculator and find the final answer. Come on, guys, this is not that bad. It is not that bad. You just have to find the length. And please, make sure you move fast. Into 2 root 10. Guys, I won't accept anyone in the lesson, so that when we say don't come late, they'll understand what we mean when we say don't come late, because they know. Oh, thank you very much. Someone gave us the correct answer on the comment. And Tombizotwa, thank you very much. You see, thank you very much. Someone gives us the correct answer. Let's see on the class. Busisi, with thanks. Zwanga, much appreciated. Ne? Thank you very much. So this will be 30. So guys, we need to say 30 units squared. Very important. 30 units squared. That should be your final answer. If you leave the unit square, you are no longer talking about the area. And that's it. So now that we understand how to calculate the area, let's see what is next. Listen, the next question says that determine the coordinates of the midpoint M of QR. They want us to find the midpoint. For the fact that I see the word midpoint, this tells me that I need to use the formula that say midpoint is x2, we add x1, we divide everything by 2, that will give us the x coordinate. Then we're going to say y2 plus y1 divided by 2, this one will give us the y coordinate. So what you need is the point Q. The coordinates of Q, very important, it's -4 and 2. So Q is the one that comes first. You see, QR. Q comes first. I'm going to write my Q as it's minus 4 and 2. Please, guys, I remember someone said you are moving fast. Say, so I'll try to move slow now. This was 7 and minus 1. So what I need you to do from here, what you can do from here is that it's going to be easy for you to name your points and say, this is your x1. Guys, you see, this is how I used to pass analytical geometry. I don't make mistakes. I name my points as x1, x2, y1, y2, y, because I don't want to make any mistakes. Are you all with me on that, guys? Are you all with me on that? Do you guys understand? Thank you. Thank you. I see the reactions. Né? I see you guys. So now, this is how it is done. Né? From here, we can just substitute. We know what is our x2. We just have to take our x2 as 7, put it on this equation. So my x2 is 7. So the midpoint m is going to be 7. I need to add the 7 to x1. And what is x1? X1 is minus 4. Gonna put that guy inside the bracket. Or let's just say, I don't want you to get confused. Né? I'm just gonna write this as 7 minus 4. I think everyone understands why we're going to write it as 7 minus 4. Because the negative cancels. This will be 7 minus 4 divided by 2 is 2. What is our y2 minus 1 plus y1 divided by 2? So what are the coordinates of m? So m will be 7 minus 4, I think that's 3. We'll have 3 over 2. This side we'll have 1 over 2. So the coordinate of m is 3 over 2 and 1 over 2. 3 over 2 and Ntombizota, thanks. That's correct, né? That's correct, Ntombizota. You see Ntombizota, it's on TikTok and she's participating. Tosile, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. Thank you very much. Ne? That's correct. So this tells me that I'm waking. Luena, you are waking on your side. Guys, please teach yourself to come early, man. Teach yourself to come early. Thank you, guys. I see your comments. Amanda, thanks. 2. I'm just gonna call you. I'm not sure if it's Kalati. It's fine. Thanks, ne? We also waking, but you are fast. Okay, guys. Okay. But I'm fast. Let me try to be slow, guys. I get it, but I'm fast. Let me try to be slow. You know why get fast, guys? Because most of the time I used to say when I teach, I don't like learners bilingual. They want me to teach them the basics. You see, like now, someone will ask, why did I say 7 minus 4 on this equation here? Why did I say 7 minus 4 while it is x2 plus x1? So now, I hate it when I teach someone says this is 7 plus, then inside the bracket we have minus 4. Now the next step, I still have to say 7, positive and a negative, they cancel, this is minus 4. I know that there are some learners bilingual, they take time to process information. Okay, it's fine, I'll try to move slow now. I just hate explaining the basics. That's why when you attend my lesson, I need you to make sure you understand the basics. Now, let's go to the next question. I'll try to move slow. Can you please unmute yourself? Help me pronounce your name. Barkima. 2, I'm just gonna call you 2 if you don't unmute yourself. Can you please help me to pronounce your name? Can you unmute yourself? Okay, maybe it's fine. If you don't have a problem, I'm Ketawija 2, ne? 2 sly. Who, yeah, 2 sly. 2 sly.
Yes,
Sure.
just call me, yeah.
Sure. Okay, so you only eat 2 sly when you go to school. You don't eat more than 2 sly.
Yes, sir, that's how it is. Yes, sir.
Nice. Now, guys, I eat 5 times a day. I eat 5 times a day. I have a mini breakfast. I have breakfast. Then I'm gonna have lunch. Then I'm going to have dinner. And a dinner, guys, around 6. Then I'm going to have supper. Uh, Before I go to sleep, maybe around 9, 10. When I'm done teaching, I'm going to eat. So two slide nanga slow, okay? I won't survive with two slide. Okay, let's look at this question. Let's look at this question. Abu Sisi, we're same WhatsApp group. I'm telling you, we are the same. If you eat 5 times a day, I don't have like, if there's food in front of me, I eat. Look at this question. This question says, here, hands, guys, there's this word, hands means that refer to the previous question, refer to whatever that you are currently working on. Hence, determine the equation of the line MN passing through M and parallel to PR. Guys, the information that is given here, it's important. The information that they give us, they say that, hence determine the equation of the line MN. Where is this line passing? It is passing through M, and this line is parallel to what? To the line is parallel to working equation of the line MN. So now they say they want the equation of the line MN. So the gradient of MN should be equals to the gradient of PR. Why? Because they are saying that these two lines are parallel. Parallel lines have what? Have equal gradient. But now we are given one coordinate on that line that they want us to calculate. We are given one coordinate. And what is that? The coordinate? The coordinate is the coordinate of M, the one that we just calculated. So what I'm going to do, I'll say this is M inside the bracket 3/2, 1/2. This is my X, this is my Y. The equation of the line MN, let's go and draw that line MN that passed through M. Let's go on MN. Now what was M? M was the midpoint of what? M was the midpoint of QR. If this is my QR, what is the QR? QR, where's QR? So M is this point here, and we have this as 3/2, 1/2. So now they want us to find the line of M that is parallel to PR. Now I'm going to draw that line, PR. So if these two lines are parallel, our line should go like this. That's my line. That's the line that they are looking for. So this line is going to be what? This line is going to be MN. So I'm just going to put this as what? As N, and this is my M. This is point M. So they are looking for that line, and they tell us that this line is parallel to that line. Remember, parallel lines have what? Parallel lines have equal gradient. If two lines are parallel, their gradient are equal. So far we have everything that we need to find the equation of that line. Remember, what I need you to remember is that a line is that's a straight line. What is the equation for a straight line? Y is equals to mx plus c. So m is the gradient of what? Of mn. We already have the gradient. Remember, we calculated the gradient of PR. These two are equal, and we did calculate the gradient of PR. Let's go and see. Do you have the gradient of PR? Yes. We calculated the gradient of PR as 1/3. So where there's mn, where there's m, we're going to substitute y/3. This becomes y is equals to 1/3x plus c. So meaning that I need to substitute the coordinate of m. Where there's x, we're going to put 3/2, and where there's y, we're going to put 1/2. So this will be 1/2. It's equals to 1/3 inside the bracket. Where there's x, I'll put 3/2, close the bracket, plus c. Why? We are trying to find the value of c. So to find the value of C, I don't want to waste the time. Already I know that the value of C is 0, but let me do it because someone will say, hey, so now this guy will cancel with that one. I'm left with 1 over 2. It's equals to 1 over 2 plus C. So now the 1 over 2 will come to the other side to be negative. What is C? The value of C is equals to 0. If the value of C is equal to 0, what is the equation? What will be the equation of line MN? So it will be y is equals to, we go back and substitute C at 0. We already know that this will just 1 over 3. So I have a lot of questions. When it comes to this, it's just 1 over 3. So if it's just 1 over 3, this tells me that our line passes through the point origin. The y-intercept is 0. I think everyone can see that. That's why the equation doesn't have the value of C. So the value of C is 0. Our graph will cut where? Our graph will cut the y-intercept at 0. Thank you, Ntombizot. I see Ntombizot, Shumani, you guys are waking. Let me see on the class. Let me see if I have people who are waking. 1 over 3, Amanda, thanks. You see, guys, this is what we need to do now. These are some of the questions that are easy, and these are some of the questions that we need to pay attention on. Okay, so the best way to pass a maths, please make sure you practice every day. Don't say, you see, even these questions that we are currently answering now, even tomorrow, even if you can go through them again, it's fine. Thank you, Busisil. Even if you go through these questions tomorrow, it's fine. So let's continue now. Do you guys have any question on this one? Are you all happy? Do you guys have any questions? Okay. Thank you for the reactions. I see that you understand. And that's it. We collected 3 marks on this one. Find the size of Q, angle Q, and this is 5 marks. Find the size of angle Q. No question, Linda. No question, ne? Sure, Linda. No question. Malaudzi. Okay, so they want you to find the angle Q, ne? And when they want you to find the angle Q, look at this. We need angle Q. Let's go back up. Now I'm trying, someone said you are waking but you are fast. Let me go and try to remember. We also waking but you are fast. Too sly. Let me tell you now, I'm going to try to be like slow. Now. Don't worry. I'm going to be slow. So let's go and do this now. So they want us to find this angle Q. Guys, let's see. Do we have anyone who know how we can find that angle Q? I want to hear your ideas. What can we do? Anyone? How can we find that angle Q? How can we find that angle Q? Anyone? I'm waiting for a comment. Someone who can tell me how we can find that angle Q. I need to see if we have learners that are creative. Learners who know how the angle of inclination works. If you are on the session, please, if you know the answer, raise your hand so you can unmute yourself. Tell us how we can find that angle Q. How can we find angle Q? Anyone? Talolo? On TikTok, how can we find angle Q? I know that people like Bo Bushuman, they are working on it. I know that people like Ntombizot also, they are working on it. But let's go through this problem now. let's go through this problem together. Let me show you what you need to do when you have this type of a problem. They say that they want angle Q. So, since they want angle Q and this is 5 marks, we're going to work. I think we should use sum of the angles is equals to 180. Yes, I agree with you on that. We can use that, and Tombizotwa, that's correct. But there are some of the things that we need to collect first. Guys, let me teach you now. I'm going to remove, someone commented. Let's see, what are you guys saying? Someone raised a hand. Let's start with Zwanga. Tell us. Zwanga, we are listening. You raised a hand.
And we're going to use gradient is equal to tan theta.
Exactly. That's correct. Exactly. Guys, please, can you please clap hands for her? There's a button there where it shows hands. Nice. Well done. So if someone gives us the correct answer, we need to clap for them. Let's encourage them. Nice. You see, that's correct, Zwanga. So when you hear what I'm trying to, the reason I asked you guys, what do you think? I'm just going to remove this line because we are done with that line. So now I'm going to show you how to be creative, and I'm going to take this slow because there's too much information that you need that we need to go through on this problem. First thing first, remember when they ask you to find the angle and we are working on analytical geometry, what should come in your mind is that I need to use the angle of inclination. So now, the main question, the question of the day, or the question of the night, what is an angle of inclination? Because if you don't understand what is the angle of inclination, if someone tells me that this angle here is an angle of inclination, get out of here. Please exit the lesson. If you tell me that the angle that I just highlighted now, it's an angle of inclination, then you need to leave the lesson. Understand? Because angle of inclination, it's an angle that is, how can we say this? It measured from the x-axis. Oh, let's say we measure it like in this direction. Let me put it like this. From the x-axis, if this is my x, remember this is your x, it's going to be like that. It moves to whatever line that we are going to. That's an angle of inclination. So I'm going to call that guy theta. I'm going to call that angle theta. So this and we already have theta. Let's call that angle beta. So what I'm trying to say is that let's also move this M here because this is going to disturb us. We are done with that one. So what I'm trying to say is that this angle here, it's angle of inclination. Let's call that guy alpha or beta. Then this angle here, it's also angle of inclination. What is that angle? Theta. We need to find, if we can find this angle beta, we can find this angle here using angles on a straight line. Then we can easily find angle theta using what? Angle of inclination. Then we're going to say sum of angles in a triangle. So I'm going to name this point here A. I'm going to name this point here B. That's why I'm saying that there's too much information. Make sure that you move with me. So now I'm going to highlight the triangle that we are currently working on. The triangle, it will be the one in green. This is the triangle we are going to work on. So now, this is the triangle ABQ. We're going to call it ABQ. Very important. Let's start by calculating what? Theta. Remember that theta is equal to the gradient of PQ. The gradient of PQ will be equal to the tan of that theta. I hope you guys can see that. So now what I'm going to do, I need to, We already know what is the gradient of PQ. I think we calculated the gradient of PQ. Let's go on our answers. Let us review our answers and see if we can find the gradient of PQ. Let's go and check. You see, that was the first question that they asked us. The gradient of PQ, and we find PQ as minus 3. So can you see that if you keep getting questions wrong, this affects the next questions. So now I'm going to say the tan of theta is equals to negative 3. We need to find theta. Guys, if your gradient is negative, theta will be equals to 180 minus the reference angle. I hope this makes sense, né? I hope everyone understands what I'm trying to say here. Theta is equals to the tan inverse of 3. We don't include the negative. Can someone please help us? What is tan inverse of 3? Reference angle, it equals to 71.5 something, né? 71.565 something. So now theta will be 180 degrees minus that 71.565. What is theta equals to? So this is 180 minus the answer. We get theta as 108. Thank you. Someone gave me negative 71.5. This tells me that Ntombizota, you included there. You included the negative. It's correct if you're going to subtract. If you don't forget to subtract, it's correct. Né? This will be 108.43 degrees. That's angle theta. Always remember that if your angle, please, let's make sure that we don't forget this. Né? Linda, thanks. Let's make sure that we don't forget this information. If the gradient is negative, your angle theta will be equal to 180 minus the reference angle. How do we find the reference angle? We use the inverse. Tan inverse, inside the bracket we put 3. I hope everyone is happy about how we got theta. So now we know what is theta. We need to find beta. We use the same method to find beta, because now if we have this angle here, let's write it down. If this angle here is 108, this angle is 108. I'm just gonna write it down and say this angle 108.43. That's the angle. We need to find beta. Why? Because we're going to use angles on a straight line to find which angle? That angle. You see, I'm moving slow now, né? So to find beta is an angle of inclination. We need to use the gradient of QR. So we're going to go and review our answers and check if we have the gradient of QR. Is that QR? QR. Do you have the gradient of QR? Do you have the gradient of QR? Please give us the gradient of QR. We don't have. Then, oh, the midpoint QR. We don't have the gradient of QR. And this is 5 marks. We need to first find the gradient of QR. You see? This is too much. We need to first find the gradient of QR, because I don't have any plan that we can use without finding that gradient of QR. So far we have theta. We need to look for this angle of inclination here. Let's do that. The gradient of QR, it's equals to y2 minus y1, everything divided by x2 minus x1. Remember, it's 5 marks, né? But now, if this is my q, the coordinate of q is minus 4 and what? It's minus 4 and 2, and the coordinates of r, what are the coordinates of r? The coordinates of r, it's 7 and 1, but the 1 is negative. So if we do the substitution, Always remember, guys, you see, I don't make mistakes, ne? Don't be lazy. This should be my x what? This should be my x1, y1, x2, y2. So if we do the substitution, what is my y2? It's minus 1 minus y1, which is 2. Everything divided by x2, which is 7, minus inside x1, which is negative 4. So on top we had minus 1 minus 2, which gives us negative 3. So the top part gives us negative 3 over 7 plus 4 is 11. So the gradient of QR is equal to minus 3 over 11. Thank you, Ntombi Zota. I see you got it right. You see, Ntombi Zota is in the TikTok live, and when you check, most of the time on TikTok, the screen, you can't see the whole question paper, but still she managed to get correct answers. You see, but oh, let's check this side. Minus, thank you, Amanda. You see, this tells me that I need to relax and ask you questions. You see, so now I have this. I need to use the tan of that beta will be equal to what? The tan beta will be equal to minus 3 over 11. The gradient is still negative. So since the gradient is still negative, beta is going to be 180 minus the reference angle. We need to first start calculating what? The reference angle. We need to first start finding the reference angle. I hope you guys are with me on that. Ne? We need to first find the reference angle. So if we first find the reference angle, let's see what we have. We're going to say beta, it equals to the tan inverse of that 3 over 11 without finding what? Without, in fact, let's not call this beta, because if we call it beta, this is something else. Let's call this RA, reference angle, RA for reference angle. So I'm just going to call this and say RA is equal to that. Therefore, what is RA equals to? So my RA will be shift the tan of 3 over 11, close the bracket into, this gives us the reference angle of 15.255. Therefore, our beta will be equal to 180 minus the reference angle. 180 we minus that 15.255. What is beta equals to? Beta will be 180 we minus 180 minus answer. This gives us 164 degrees, comma 74. If we round this off, what is the answer? 74, comma 74. That's what we got. That's what beta. So maybe now we need to understand, why do we have so much information on the board? So we know what is beta, but the only thing I'm interested in is to find this angle. I have 164. I need to find that angle. Angles in a straight line and up to 180. So to find that angle, I'm going to take 180. I minus my beta. So what can we call that angle? Maybe we can call this beta 1, beta 2. Ne? Maybe we can call this angle inside the bracket. Let's call this beta 1. Let's call this beta 2. So now we know what is beta 2. To find beta 1, we're going to say beta 1, angle beta 1 is 180. You minus what? You're going to minus beta 2, which is 164.74. Reason angles in a straight line. So this will be 180 minus 164.74, which gives us the very same 15.26, the one that we got, 15.26. So beta 1 is equals to 15.26 degrees. So now that we have these angles inside the triangle, we know what's next. It's easy for us to find angle Q. I'm very sorry guys about the mess. I'm going to send the final solutions on on the group, the correct solutions on the group, the arranged solutions on the group. Né? So now angle Q will be the sum of angles in a triangle. So angle Q will be 180 because the sum of angles in a triangle end up to what? The sum of angles in a triangle end up to 180. So this will be 180 minus this angle here, which is 108. So this will be 108 minus 108.43. We need to minus 15.26. The sum of angles in a triangle. If we add these angles, we need to get 180. This will be 26. Therefore, what is angle Q equals to? For sure, everyone got 56.31 degrees. I hope this is right, ne? 0.31. Thank you very much, ne? Thank you, Wushi. Much appreciated. I really appreciate that. Amanda, thanks, guys. Linda, thanks. Yoshumani, thanks. And that's it. Evenly, thank you. So now tell me, guys, do you have any questions based on this? Or maybe you have a different method that you like us to try? Because now I need to test you. I need to test you. Okay, I see you guys are good, né? But now let's try and change the question. Let's say instead on the question they wanted us to find this angle. What are you going to do? Let's say the one angle P. What are you going to do? How can we find angle P? Guys, it's easy. Think about it. I need someone to tell me how can we find that angle P. And I need you guys to listen very carefully. Né? How can we find that angle P? This angle P. How can we find angle P? Anyone? Think about it. It's easy. I'm looking for that one thing that we can do to find that angle Q. Angle P. Anyone? How can we find the angle P? And they like to ask it like that in an exam. They'll say, find angle P. Okay, let me explain now. Let's say in an exam they want you to find this angle here. You know what you need to do? I need you to take, you see this x-axis, this line here, the x-axis. This is a horizontal line. We can move it and put it anywhere we want. So what I'm trying to say is that we can move that line and put it here to pass through that point P. So that's what you need to do. Put your x-axis there. Then we know that, oh, if this is the x-axis, we can find what? The angle of inclination. Okay? Then let's call that angle beta. So if we have that angle of inclination, we're going to find what? Another angle of inclination. Let's do it like this. I'm sorry. Okay. You're first going to find the angle of inclination, which is this part. Let's call this beta 1. And then, when you find that angle of inclination, we are looking for this angle, right? We are looking for that angle. So, the best way to do this is to find this angle of inclination here, this small angle here. It's also an angle of inclination. Let's call that beta 2. So we know that to find angle of inclination, we're going to use what? The gradient of that line. To find the angle of inclination for B1, we're going to use the gradient of that line. Then the angle that they are looking for, which is P, is going to be that angle you get for B1. You're going to minus angle for B2. The answer that you get is the length of is that P. I'm not sure if this makes sense, guys. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? We find the angle of inclination, which is B1. Using that line, then we find the angle of inclination, which is beta 2. Then to find P, you're going to take that B1, you subtract what? You subtract B2. Thank you very much. Let's continue. I thought someone will give us the correct answer, but it's fine. And what's next? Do we still have more questions? We are done with this one. And that was the last question. That was the last question. Let's see, do you guys have any questions based on this? That was the last question. Let's see, do you guys have any questions? Any questions, guys? Please tell me. Do you guys understand what we did here? Or maybe you have a comment based on a certain solution. Please tell us now. Are you all happy? Someone raised a hand. Busisiwe, I'm listening.
Sir, I was suggesting that next time in our session we do more of these questions, because most of the time they appear in different ways on our exams. So I suggest that we do something else for us to see the different ways to handle such questions.
Okay. I totally agree with you on that, ne? I totally agree with you on that. We're going to work on different questions. You know how it works. Let me explain how we're going to do these things, guys. So if you really want to pass, make sure that you participate, especially on the group. Remember today on the group, I gave you guys an assignment which was 7 marks. And now if the assignment is 7 marks, I was expecting everyone to spend 15 minutes writing that assignment. And I know some they did write the assignment, some they did not write that assignment. And then I created a solution for you guys to go watch that solution. And then now I need feedback. I'm going to send it on. I need to know, out of 7, I need everyone to tell me what they got. I'm going to send it as percentage. I need you to mark your work using that memo that we posted on the group. I need you to use that. Then if you get 50%, please be honest. If you get 2 out of 7, just take the 2 out of 7, divide it, say 2 divided by 7, then you multiply the answer that you get by 100. So you can see that, oh, you got 28.5%. So when I say let us check the percentage, if you got 28, you're going to be between 0 and 29%. You're going to click 0 and 29%, so that I can see if we need to do more of those questions. I'm not sure if you guys understand what I'm saying. So when I send you guys something on the group and say work on this, just take like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm not going to give you too much work. You see, now when you are done with this question, I'm going to give you guys the one that you need to try on your own. Then I'm going to give you the solution using a video. What you have to do is that you need to write your question down first, answer everything, then when you are done, tomorrow we post the solution. Simple. So don't worry, we're going to do more of these questions, but now I just wanted us to revise on analytical geometry. So the next topic that we're going to discuss, it will depend on the vote from the group, because we need to focus on what you guys are currently doing at school. You understand? Some are doing calculus, some are doing sequence and series, some are doing functions. We just have to accommodate everyone. I'm not sure if you guys understand that part. Okay, no question, no? Okay, thanks. I think that's it for today, no? This is where we're going to stop. That's it for today. Thank you very much for attending. So please, if you have any questions, you can reach out privately, ask me those questions, no? Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you on our next lesson. Bye. Sharp, sharp. So you guys don't want to exit the lesson. You are still enjoying. No, it's fine. Okay. So those who missed the, what is this?